Yes, students, we were talking about the properties of alcohols and phenols. Let us continue with some more properties, and next one is oxidation. Oxidation, is addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Alcohols on oxidation give aldehydes and ketones, which on further oxidation give carboxylic acids. For this, we use different oxidizing agents. For example, acidified potassium dichromate, acidified or alkaline potassium permanganate, dilute nitric acid, or chromium trioxide. Let us see the reactions. So, here is the oxidation of primary alcohols with potassium dichromate. Primary alcohols on oxidation give us aldehydes, and these aldehydes on further oxidation give us acids, carboxylic acids. You can see the number of carbon atoms will remain same in ethanol, in ethanol, and in ethanoic acid. However, if you want to stop the reaction at aldehyde, then the oxidizing agent used should be PCC, pyridinium chlorochromate. It is a complex obtained by mixing chromium trioxide with pyridine and HCl in dichloromethane. So we can say PCC is a weak oxidizing agent as compared to potassium dichromate. So that's why the reaction stops at the level of aldehydes. See here, this is propane 1-ol with PCC will give you propanol. There is one more advantage of PCC, that is double bond is protected. Double bond will remain as such. Now, if you are taking secondary alcohols, these alcohols on oxidation give us ketone. Here also the number of carbon atoms will be same. These can also be oxidized by PCC. These ketones cannot be further oxidized easily to form carboxylic acids. So, tertiary alcohol if you are taking, these resist oxidation as there is no alpha hydrogen atom. Now, this is the alpha carbon and no hydrogen is directly attached to this carbon. But this can be oxidized only by strong oxidizing agents. You may take acidic KMnO4 or you may take CrO3. In this case, the product formed is an alkene rather than an aldehyde or a carboxylic acid. So this is a dehydration product. OH and H, water is removed, so it is a dehydration product. First you will get an alkene, and this alkene can be then further oxidized to form ketone. This carbon, terminal carbon, goes out in the form of carbon dioxide. Oxidation can also be done by hot copper. Primary alcohol with copper at 573 Kelvin gives us aldehyde. Secondary alcohol with copper at 573 Kelvin gives us ketone. And if it is tertiary alcohol with copper at 573 Kelvin give us, here also you get dehydration product. Now let us come to the reactions of phenol. This is a phenol molecule. OH group is attached to benzene ring. We have already studied the resonating structures of phenol when we were studying its acidic nature. So we have seen OH group activates the benzene ring towards electrophilic substitution, means it donates electrons to the benzene ring, And if you remember those resonating structures, the negative charge appears at ortho and para positions. So we can also say it directs the incoming group to ortho and para position. You can see the nitration. Since it is a highly activating group, so reaction takes place with dilute HNO3 only. You get orthonitrophenol and para-nitrophenol. So we get a mixture of these two. These ortho and para isomers can be separated by steam distillation. This is an orthonitrophenol. Here you can see the hydrogen bond. This is intramolecular hydrogen bond. And if you consider this para-nitrophenol, this is one molecule, this is second molecule, this is hydrogen bond. So this is intermolecular hydrogen bond. So if we talk about their boiling point, this is orthoisomer is steam volatile as compared to the para isomer. So that's why these can be separated with the help of steam distillation. However, if you take HNO3 in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, means we are taking nitrating agent, you can see here concentrated sulfuric acid is written, then all the three positions 2 ortho and para get substituted to form 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, commercially known as picric acid. So this is a picric acid. Halogenation, bromination in the presence of CS2. Here you can see instead of Lewis acid we have taken CS2. We get orthoisomer as well as para-isomer. So polarization of bromine molecule takes place even in the absence of Lewis acid because OH is highly activating. If the similar reaction is carried in the aqueous solution, then again all the three positions get substituted and you get 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Kolbe's reaction. This is phenol. Kolbe's reaction takes place with sodium phenolate. So first of all, using NaOH, we prepare its sodium salt, then with carbon dioxide and on hydrolysis at 4 to 7 atmospheric pressure and 400 Kelvin temperature, the product formed is 2-hydroxybenzoic acid or salicylic acid. Rimet-Amen reaction. Here we have two reactions. First is with chloroform and second is with carbon tetrachloride. With chloroform and aqueous NaOH, the product formed is salicyl aldehyde. At ortho position, you get CHO group. So these are the steps. First, here it will be CHCl2, then NaOH will hydrolyze the 2Cl. You will get 2OH over here. From here, water will be removed to form CHO group. Now, this Na can be hydrolyzed. So, the ultimate product is an salicyl aldehyde. Similar reaction with carbon tetrachloride and aqueous KOH or NaOH. These have got similar effect. The product is salicylic acid. Steps are same. Reaction with zinc dust. With zinc dust, this is a very important reaction from the point of view of conversions. Reaction of phenol with zinc gives us benzene. Oxidation of phenol with sodium dichromate in acidic medium gives us benzoquinone. This is again G, very important reaction. Reaction with ferric chloride. Reaction with ferric chloride gives us ferric phenoxide. Ferric phenoxide. This is a violet colored compound. This reaction is used to distinguish between alcohols and phenols. In board exams, you will get one question regarding distinction between two compounds. So if one of the compound is a phenol, you can very easily give this reaction with ferric chloride. Thank you.